Some women don't chase, and yet they're never forgotten. A glance, a silence, a refusal to be consumed. And suddenly, a man finds himself drowning in her absence, mistaking his ache for love. But it isn't love. It is the shadow rising from the depths of his own psyche, projected onto her like a mirror he cannot shatter. CarlJung once wrote that what a man denies within himself, he seeks endlessly in the faces of others. And so he calls his hunger for possession love, when in truth, it is the unresolved child within him clawing at the feminine to soothe his unhealed wound. Watch him closely. His words speak of devotion, but his eyes betray fear. Fear that she may leave. Fear that she may see beyond his performance and notice the emptiness beneath. He holds her tighter, not out of tenderness, but out of tenor. And she, if she is wise, feels the weight of that terror pressing against her skin like chains. The obsession he calls love begins with flattery, with pursuit, with the illusion of worship. But soon the mask slips. His longing is not for her essence, but for control. For the illusion that he has finally captured the part of himself he never faced. In Jungian terms, it is the anima, the inner feminine, denied, suppressed, and now projected violently onto her body. Her voice, her silence. She becomes the stage where his unconscious drama unfolds. Every gesture she makes, he interprets as destiny. Every moment she withdraws, he reads as betrayal. It is not her he is seeing, but the shadow of his own forgotten soul. And yet, he clings to her, whispering that it is love. But love does not suffocate. Love does not demand that she shrink so he may grow. Love does not confuse desire with ownership. His obsession is the ego in panic, the desperate refusal to do the inner work, to face the loneliness within. And so he buries his fear beneath the language of romance, hoping she will mistake his possession for passion. There is a turning point. When she notices, the silence between his words grows heavier than the words themselves. The way he watches her is no longer adoration, but surveillance. She realizes she is no longer a partner, but a projection. In that moment, she feels the truth pressing on her chest. He doesn't love her. He loves the reflection of himself he thinks he sees in her. And here is where her power awakens. For the woman who sees clearly is no longer a prisoner of his spell. She understands that obsession is not intimacy, and that his need for her is not a measure of her worth. She steps back, not in cruelty, but in clarity. The same clarity that Stoic philosophers spoke of. The same clarity that trauma survivors find when they learn that not every ache must be answered. Her detachment is not indifference, it is sovereignty. It is the refusal to play the role his unconscious scripted for her. She will not be the salve for wounds he refuses to heal. She will not become the stage where his shadow plays forever. She returns him to himself, not with anger, but with silence. And here lies the paradox. The more she withdraws into her own wholeness, the more he burns. The ego cannot bear to lose its projection, and so he calls her cold, cruel, heartless. But in truth, she is simply free. She has remembered what he has forgotten, that true love is not an escape from the self, but a union between two souls who have faced their shadows and still chosen to stay. The obsession he calls love is nothing more than unhealed hunger, and hunger, left unchecked, devours everything, until nothing remains. But she, the archetypal woman, refuses to be devoured. She embodies Jung's path of individuation, the return to wholeness, the meeting of shadow and light, the courage to stand alone until true union arrives. And so she walks away, quietly, without performance, without explanation. Not because she is weak, not because she is unloving, but because she has seen more. The woman who walks away in silence isn't weak. She simply sees more.